Hopefully you have finished the last 4 questions of the construction shift. We're still on page 17 of the advanced review, all right? So here's what I want you to do. Let's go ahead and let's check what you've done so far. Let's look at number 4. Our supervisor, Betty White, handles all of the personal problems that arise because she's an extremely diplomatic person in working with people. Okay, so what did you get for the old sentence pattern? Did you see that word because in the middle? What pattern does that mean? Okay, hopefully you put down that you got ID. The independent clause is our supervisor, Betty White, handles all the personal problems that arise. And then afterwards, because she's an extremely diplomatic person in working with people. And that's going to be your dependent clause at the end. Okay, now what they do is they take that information at the end and they switch it to the beginning. First of all, did you notice how it begins with being? Okay, being an extremely diplomatic person and working with people, that ing right there on the first word gives you a major hint. That's a modifier. That's just a clue. Many times you will find that modifiers are treated like a dependent clause, okay? I want you to notice this. They even give you being extremely diplomatic and working with people, comma, so that's a hint right there. We are working with a dependent clause. Yeah, that's a modifier, but it's working like a dependent clause. So what comes at the end? That's right. An independent clause. Okay. Now, the big question is, do you really need all those commas? And the answer is yes, you do. You see, the name of the supervisor is put in between commas because that's extra information. You really don't need it. So the full sentence is going to be this. Being extremely diplomatic and working with people, comma, our supervisor, comma, Betty White, comma, handles all of the personnel problems that arise. Okay? So if number 3 kind of bothered you on page 16 with like no commas at all, this one should make you fine and okay because, hey, you've got 3. Okay, now let's look at number 5. Okay, tornadoes are made up of winds with speeds of 30 or 40 miles an hour or higher, and they cause the most deaths. Okay, you heard the and, didn't you? Yep, which means that the sentence pattern is going to be I, comma, CC, I. Okay? The comma and the and. If that's the case, now it says, because tornadoes are made up of winds. Yeah, you know it. D, comma, I. Just make sure you delete the and when you rewrite these sentences. Did you put an and there? Oh, good, you did. Then you should have gotten it right. Because tornadoes are made up of winds with speeds of 30 or 40 miles an hour or higher, comma, they cause the most deaths. All right, now for these two here on the end. While it was raining, comma, we decided to play cards. Okay, so what's the first word of the sentence? Okay, and what kind of word is that? Yeah, it is. So, it's going to be D, comma, I. What if I wanted to go ahead and switch those? Straightforwardly speaking, we decided to play cards while it was raining. Do you need a comma here? No, you don't. If you do have a comma there, it's okay. However, I'm going to recommend that you erase it, okay? We decided to play cards while it was raining. You really don't need a break in between it, okay? Okay, all right. It's going to be basically the same story for number 7. While we were in Illinois, comma, we visited General Grant's home. D, comma, I. And now you're just switching places. We toured General Grant's home while we were in Illinois, okay? I, D, okay? Now, how do we use this skill of construction shift? This is what I'm going to recommend that you do whenever you see a problem that's like this, okay? What I would do is I would, again, find the old pattern, then predict what the new pattern will be. On a scratch sheet of paper, write it down and fix it using the chart and the rules that you've learned. Then pick the answer choice that matches what you wrote down. When you do it that way, you will always get it right, okay? And that's the plan for you to be completely 100% accurate in these kinds of questions. So when you do the third part of the quiz on the advanced review, again, make sure you've written out the rest of the sentence and then pick the answer, A, B, C, D, that matches how you fixed it. Okay? All right, good luck.